Hello everyone, nobully here. The skin I will be reviewing today is called Ivory by Matt. This skin is their second completed skin and claims to be a minimalist skin for standard, Tycho, and Mania, and even has extra customizations in the skin folder. However, I will only be reviewing the standard mode for this skin with the defaults applied. Let's get started. Right off the bat, the overlay that is skinned here looks great. It helps establish the theme and leaves nothing to complain about. The overlay changes the blue outline on the upper half of the screen to a white one, which makes it look super clean. The VMAP info button next to the scoreboard select drop down is skinned, which is something you don't see too often. The sorting tabs are nice rounded bars that help make them look tidy by separating them all, making them into more of sorting a button. The entire top section kind of breaks theme by not being white. However, the skinner mentioned that the entire top section could not be skinned all white for readability purposes. Moving down to the lower half of the song selection, the overlay uses a minorly stylized font that matches the base game's font, which I find unique since most skins use a font that's different from the rest of the game. It's a nice touch and helps contribute to the minimal theme in my opinion. The overlay on the profile card is simple and the skinhouse cookie matches perfectly when you hover over it, which is very visually pleasing. The mode selection menu looks great and you can see what mode you are hovering over through a slit on the right side of the menu. The mode small element has been moved to the top of the screen, which is simple but also visually pleasing. The mod icons are all fairly simple with color coding and 2-letter abbreviations. I like that the score multiplier for each mod is in smaller text near the bottom. The buttons look great and have small notches on either side. Lastly, the sounds used in this skin are fantastic. The skinner used the sounds from the Nintendo Switch's UI, which is a nice touch. Everything here in the song select fits within the minimalist theme. Moving on to the ranking screen, the overall color scheme is still within the white minimal theme. All of the text has a nice drop shadow in order to differentiate the numbers from the white background. The back button in this skin works great in both the ranking screen and the song selection screen and doesn't feel out of place or wrong. The perfect graphic fits into a spot right above the back button and contributes to the minimal theme by not being in your face. The ranking letters are all white and uses S+ and SS+ for the silver grades. As the ranking letters go down, each one is a shade darker than the one before it. Everything here looks good and is very aesthetically pleasing. However, my only complaint with the ranking screen is that it feels a little empty. Gameplay for this skin is fun and not super distracting. The cursor has a unique design with a plus sign in the middle doesn't grow with the rest of the cursor and looks nice. The sounds for the gameplay also use the Nintendo Switch UI sounds for things like the combo break and various others. However, the hit sounds are generic and are like every other minimal skin out there. Because the cursor is white, it is sometimes difficult to see because it blends in with everything else. The hit circles are skinned as numbers so that they disappear instantly, which looks and plays great. The reverse arrows have a bumper on the end of them, which is unique and also looks great. However, I would have preferred these to be a little closer to the slider so there isn't a visible gap. The score hits are all white with a different shade for each hit. The miss is the only colored thing here, being red. The follow points are a simple white line and don't distract from gameplay. The spinner is simple, but feels satisfying to play with. The skip button is large and pleasing to look at. The HP bar is similar to the default one, but looks good nonetheless. All of the numbers use the same font, and even the scoreboard on the left has the font skinned with an italicized version of it, which is not commonly seen. The key overlay on the right feels like an afterthought though, and is very uninteresting. The pause and fail screens fit within the theme and look great, but are hard to differentiate between since the resume button is still visible on both the pause and fail screen. Overall, gameplay is pretty good, but can feel a little bit generic at times. For the song selection, it gets a 5 out of 5. I really like the overlay that's skinned here and there's nothing that looks incorrect or out of place. For the ranking screen, it gets a 4.5 out of 5. It looks really good, but everything is white and it overall feels a little empty. For gameplay, it gets a 4 out of 5. I like how minimal it is, but it's almost too minimal and needs at least something to make it more interesting. Overall, Ivory gets a 4.5 out of 5. The all-white theme works well almost everywhere, and I really like the sounds that were used. Almost all of the elements look like there's thought put into them. For visuals, the skin earns a 4. For playability, this skin earns a 4.5. What did you think of this skin? What do you think of my review? Comment down below sharing your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, let us know by leaving a like. Thanks for watching.